Can't tweet the link.
This is the next big pot.
Chad Emini scores a contest 112-115. Judge Bob Thomas 112-115. Judge Donald Trevor 113-115. The winner. And the new Super Featherweight Champion of the world from Cambridge in Scotland, Ricky Burns.
The dream comes true for Ricky Burns, a massive upset, a huge shot in the arm for British.
I laid out the blueprint. Yes, they gave him the decision. They gave him the fight. He beat me, but the blueprint is right there. Just look at it. I took it out of the vault and I handed it over to Canelo Alvarez.
I'll find David Price any day of the week. You see, you come from Liverpool, it's personal between me. I'm going to do you some serious beats. If you okay, alright, thanks a lot.
No, brilliant, like I say, for the centre and South Coast Community Centre. Amir Khan gets the big five of Pacquiao and the world champions, the lads that are coming through. It'll be a fantastic. I equate this to the Crunk in America way back in the time. You know what? Fuck Joe Gallagher. 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 I got him in a cage right now. Out the cage.
The plan is to have Algieri knock Pacquiao out.
Yes, but I still got him in a cage. He listens to me very well. I'm gonna let him loose.
Round 10?
Round 10 or 11, I'm gonna let him go.
Now we have one other thing to do, and that's to fight Thomas Hearns. And I'm planning on breaking every bone in his body.
But what works is they're going to go and chase Leo Santa Cruz. I told them, and I told them on Wednesday, you're not going to get Santa Cruz. Like I told them, you're not going to get Martinez.
Now, coming to you live, the next big pod!
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 55th edition of the Next Big Pod. I'm back by popular demand in the host chair, joined by Ainsley, Brian, Andy, and Corpy tonight. So everyone jump in, say hello to all the ladies listening.
Hello.
Fuck the Queen.
Good evening.
Can we all hear each other all right? It all sounds good to me.
I'll tell you what, I listened to the intro the other day for last week's pod, and I thought it was quite a good pod with Michael Conlon on, right? But see the start, I sounded as if I wanted to hang myself, and but you've actually fucking shat over the top of me after the first 10 seconds. So there you go. That's all the fucking compliment you're getting off me tonight.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the pods that I wasn't on, and I won't. So,
you know, I used to do that. I know. I would never ever listen to fucking shit I was doing and all that. And
do you remember when you had Bellew on and I wasn't on, and everyone was saying how good it was? I've never listened to it because I was so jealous.
You know, it took me 2 months to listen to that Charles Farrell one that I was doing. 2 months it took me to listen to it.
Yeah, we're all very angry to see anyone else get ahead. Yeah. Right, guys. I don't know if should we start with HBO? That makes most sense, doesn't it? We had the double header on Saturday from it was in New York, wasn't it? I think
they both were, weren't they?
Or at the Barclays, or I forget.
No, one was the Turner Stone, the other one was the small room at Madison Square Garden, wasn't it?
Oh, Lomachenko was. Oh, that was Madison Square Garden. Okay, I can never tell. They all look the same, the inside of them. Shall we start? Who saw Verdejo first of all before we go on to the main event?
Me.
What did you think, Brian?
I quite liked it. I thought he looked alright, but I don't know how well the opponent was. He was fine, but he's quite spiteful. Like, see when he thinks he's got somebody hurt, he'll like, throw fucking a barrage of punches. I quite like watching him. Like, he doesn't have the. I said this yesterday. He doesn't have the power of Cotto. Never mind Tito Trinidad. He's not going to be a fucking Wanma, but he's a good boxer. See when we were talking about lightweights who would do, I think like Flanagan would be a seriously tough fight for him because he just keep coming at him. I think Flanagan can take a bit of power. I think he would school Crawler, and for some weird reason I think like Crawler and Flanagan would be like a kind of 50-50 fight, but still to make fights and all that, innit? So
he's going the WBO route though, isn't he? So he might end up
exactly, yeah. So I quite like watching him. I know people.
Sorry, so he's going WBO. I don't know if he's ranked there. I assume he's probably in the top 10.
Yeah, well, he's got some little shitty WBO belt.
Yeah, the Latino belt or something, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah,
that's a prestigious belt.
Okay, so he'll be going for Flanagan then, which is, I mean, that could potentially be quite a good money fight for Flanagan. I think I'd back Flanagan to win that.
But then, is Flanagan going to beat Verdejo, clearly enough, in New York, on a top-ranked card to get a decision? He's not going to knock him out, so is he going to beat him by enough of a margin to get the decision?
I haven't seen Verdejo take a shot, to be honest. I don't know if he's got a good chin or not.
I know he's been fighting. You're trying to say the Frank Warren couldn't get Verdejo over here?
No chance.
Warren's got big names over here before.
I've seen a few people say Flanagan's quite tight at the weight anyway, so.
Well, yeah,
he is campy. I don't know how long he'll be staying around at lightweight because he is tight at the weight.
That's why they're trying to rush that Crawler fight if they can get it.
Verdejo's quite big as well. You could HBO always talk about it. That Verdejo he'll be up at 140 sooner rather than later. I could see him going up to sort of 147 in time. He's like Campbell, isn't he? He's quite large for.
I didn't watch the fight, but during the Lomachenko fight, the commentators, I don't know who it was because it wasn't Colonel Bob, it was Poncher. I didn't recognise the other two, but they said he looked really dry. Verdejo did on the way in.
But they said that about everybody. Like
they said Lomachenko. They said Lomachenko looked dry. Literally, they did say everyone looked dry.
I tell you, man. I think see for like, I'm not want to be like fucking shep sexist here. I don't want all this kicking off on Twitter again. But see for a bird, man, I quite like that Poncher, man. She does seem to know what she's talking about when she's doing that co-commentating. See when you hear other they can't be asking into all the dafties that fucking birds on Twitter, right, man? They've not got a fucking clue. The dumb bastards, right? And then when you listen to Michelle Phelps, fucking high fight fans, man, she doesn't know shit. But that Poncher is totally fucking clued up.
She picks punches
up. Because she knows all the prospects. She's been doing like the local, she's been doing top ranked shows in San Antonio and in sort of Indio and places like that for years, and knows all of the prospects that come through, and seems to. Yeah, I agree with you. She's got much better in the last couple of years. And the other one who's quite good who occasionally does it is Tim Bradley. He sometimes does the international feed, and he's a really good analyst as well. Like he speaks really. I don't know if he'll do commentary when he retires, but he speaks really clearly. And
I tried to get a fucking picture with him in Vegas, and he was having none of it, man. He was a right ignorant fucking. I'm like, Tim, come here. He just looked at my white ass and just looked away.
You seen your IFL and didn't like it.
He knows you're a Provodnikov fanboy, mate.
Yeah, you and Cam, he heard that you and Cam were saying that he were ducking him and shit. So
yeah, fucking him pound for pound. Floyd.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so yeah, Verdejo. I watched it. The opponent was awful. Even worse than the last couple of times but he did knock him out, which is what you're supposed to do with awful overmatched opponents. But
see the whole thing with that stoppage. So I feel as if it was
a bit quick. I agree.
It was like in between like a British stoppage and a proper stoppage because the guy wasn't throwing anything back, but at the same time there wasn't any point in that fight he seemed to look hurt.
He wasn't hurt, but he wasn't throwing. Yeah, I agree. I think they were desperate for Lomachenko. For Verdejo to get a stoppage last night, on Saturday night. All the pressure was about how. I don't know if you guys remember, he fought that guy on his HBO debut, Nahera. What was that? Maybe September.
Not getting knocked out with somebody fucking right after.
It was last.
He fought Nahera. He fought Nahera, went the distance with him, right? And they were both undefeated, and it was, Verdejo clearly won, but it was quite a tough fight. Nahera got knocked out in the first round in his next fight, and then just got knocked out in 2 rounds by Beltran. And it doesn't make Verdejo look good at all. And I've seen some Americans say oh, well, Verdejo beat the prime out of him. The guy's like 24. Like, he's not shot at all. He's just not very good. And Verdejo couldn't get him out of there. And I think that's, not a great sign necessarily. Yeah, sorry, Sam, go on.
Safe for saying, so if Verdejo and Campbell was to fight next week, who would you pick? Because I know you're high on Campbell and you don't like Verdejo.
I said about a year ago that I thought Campbell would beat Verdejo just before he had lost and everything. And I had a lot of Americans say, no, that's a future sort of pound for pound fight.
That was me. That was fucking me, man.
No, but everyone, yeah, we were all wrong to an extent.
I'll claim that shit.
But everyone was saying that's like a potential sort of superstar fight in the future, maybe a unification. I still think Campbell would beat him because I don't think Verdejo has the power to hurt Campbell.
No. But Mendy would run Verdejo close.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think Campbell will probably fight Mendy again this year and beat him, but
it's been mandated, isn't it?
I don't know, but I'm getting pissed off with this shit. He's on the undercard of Warrington fighting a bum again. How long is it until it?
All right, let's not get bogged down in this. Let's not
let's stay fucking positive.
I know, Ainsley, you're absolute fucking hell. Have a happy ball or something.
Shut the fuck up.
Chill.
It could be, but maybe Mendy's got another fight scheduled or something else. I don't know. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt for now because it does look like he wants the rematch, which I think is.
No, he does. I'm not. It's fucking who's to blame because I don't know what he's playing at. Which is what I'm saying. He's on undercards again, doing fuck all. TBA.
Well, if he got the rematch by the end of the year, I think that would be okay because he's, I know he's not young, but he's young in his career.
He's apparently he'll be fighting Mendy in September on that Brent Vargas bill. So,
I wouldn't complain about that. I think that's
that'd be all right, but I don't know. There's a pattern with Hearn, and it starts to show again with Campbell.
I don't think Mendy's a world beater, but like you say, I think he would give Verdejo a tough fight. Yeah. The one who's, interestingly enough, there's two opponents that have been calling for the fight for months now. It's Sal Rodriguez, who's the guy who has a couple of common opponents with Verdejo, but he's knocked them out, whereas Verdejo's gone the distance with him. He's a Robert Garcia fighter. He's like one of his main sort of up-and-comers. I think he's 21 or something, quite a young sort of Mexican-American guy.
Verdejo's only 23 though, ain't he? So.
Yeah. But Rodriguez didn't really have the amateur background, so he's sort of come up unnoticed. He's fought a few times on like Estrella TV and those sort of secondary. He's been on a few top-rank undercards. He hasn't been on HBO yet or anything. But Garcia is always talking about that fight. They really want that fight as a battle of like unbeaten prospect at some point. And he said, if they offered us that fight on HBO, we'd take it.
I think we're going to be careful with Verdejo though.
Oh yeah. But he'll have to step up eventually, or the fans will. The fans won't be happy, will they?
Is that the way you say his name?
Verdejo. Yeah, it's not how Gallagher said it. It's Verdejo with a vajazzle or whatever.
Like Joden or whatever in Spanish. The J is like an H.
Verdejo, yeah.
Felix Verdejo.
It's like Verdejo and Costa Tazoo.
Natural Gallagher, man. Natural Gallagher's an absolute fucking dog fucker.
Carpi said Verdejo earlier, but he was
Verdejo.
Verdejo.
Not many linguists on this podcast.
The other one that I think, do you remember that Tony Luis who Derry fought?
Yeah.
That'd have been a good fight.
He's been calling for the Verdejo fight and saying, "Look, I'll fight you for." He was like, "Look, I'll take it on like when Verdejo's opponent got injured. Do you remember a couple of months ago?" And he had to get a replacement.
Remember I showed you that? I asked him on Facebook, and fucking he says that I offered the fight, and they accepted the money, and they fucking just didn't want it. They went different ways. They don't want this fight.
He said he's offered to take next to no money. He's offered to take the fight on a couple of weeks' notice on a couple of occasions, and they just are not interested at all. And he clearly thinks he can beat Verdejo because he's not pricing himself out or anything. Like he seems and. To be honest, if Verdejo's going to be a star, he needs to beat guys like Tony Luis on the way up, And if he's avoiding them, that's not a good sign. But if no one else has seen it, we can
hop on. Sorry. Is he not Puerto Rican as well?
He's Canadian, I think, Luis.
What, Luis?
Yeah. He's just got a Spanish name, but he's Canadian, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to check that shit.
He might be.
He fights out of Canada anyway.
Yeah, he definitely lives and fights out of somewhere in Toronto or something like that. I don't know, but
So the fucking guy, but he was he was Canadian money, was he?
I'm pretty sure Luis is Canadian.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Cornwall, Ontario, Canada.
Cornwall.
Ontario, Canada.
Cornwall?
Yeah. Cornwall.
Cornwall.
Is that a pizzeria?
All right,
Must
Carby.
be.
I'm eating a pizza.
Don't tell Carby, he'll
Go
be
on,
round.
Cam.
Do you want to...
Save us the crust. Who wants to... I don't care about Lomachenko as much as you guys, so one of you lot lead the discussion. Sam, do you want to start? I know you were excited about Saturday.
Why don't you care about Lomachenko first?
Because I think you were hyping him.
Oh, you're one fucking hipster motherfucker.
No, not at all. I'm just. He's really good, but I'm just not. I don't know. I'm just not that excited by because it's Martinez. Martinez has never been great. You know, I want to see Lomachenko fight. You know, a guy who's like Vargas or a guy. I want the Salido rematch. I'd get excited about that.
I wasn't so
You
arsed
know, a
until
top-5 guy at the weight. Sorry, Ainsley, go on.
I wasn't too bothered about him until Saturday, and then Saturday was just ridiculous.
Was it?
Martinez is not shit. He's not fucking.
No, but Martinez clearly got. I thought he clearly lost the second Salido fight.
But he clearly won the first one. So
Right, yeah, but that was. But mate, he's right. Martinez has been around a long time. That was an opponent designed to make Lomachenko look good. I think there's a very good reason they picked Martinez. I think.
No.
Maybe I'm being cynical, Brian. What did you make of it? Were you impressed?
He picked fucking Walters. That's who he picked. He offered fucking Walters a fight. He offered Walters absolutely fucking everyone under the sun, and the big fucking shitbag still didn't take the fight.
Wasn't that at the lower weight?
No, that was
No.
as well.
Oh,
He accepted that 130. Was it 130 pound? He accepted that, but Walters fucking priced his sell out. I mean, but I don't give a fuck what if boxers don't get paid, right? But seriously, how can you price your sell out of a fight when you're not getting a fight? So basically, you're not getting paid as it is. So why you not just accepting a fight? Like Bob Arum already shafted up before when he fucking got a draw no long ago for a fight that he actually won. So. Is Walters not learned his lesson by looking at what happened to Mikey Garcia? Mikey Garcia fucking went dark for about 2 years because he thought he's that aisle. Bob Arum at some point fucking just let me go. That's not the way it is. So he didn't go for Martinez. But see the fact to the matter is, he done to Martinez with any cunt with that sort of skill level would normally do. Some people would have just played with Martinez and it could have went 12 rounds, but he fucked him up. I've not seen some sort of fucking demolition like that for what Floyd Gatti. What Floyd done to Gatti is exactly what you're meant to do. He fucking ran through him and
yeah. He did, but Martinez was not an elite fighter ever.
No, but he's world level.
Is he anymore? I'm not sure he is anymore, genuinely.
What is Salido world level?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's still hanging with guys like Vargas and stuff. I think Vargas would easily beat Martinez, for example.
Yeah, but I don't think that alone can be the comparison. I don't he's not a massively elite win, but this is a guy who's had like fucking 7 fights. He's beat Gary Russell Jr. already. He ran Salido within a ball area beating him.
Okay, yeah.
He's beating Martinez.
Yeah.
If you look at that,
that's a good comparison, mate. That's perfect comparison.
That's the way I'm going for.
I was more impressed by what he did against Russell than I was by what he did against Martinez last weekend. That's a perfect example.
I would say like his performance against Salido, against a guy that refused to fucking make weight, a guy that's suspicious of taking drugs, the dirtiest fucking boxer on the fucking planet. I would say that's his better performance. The fact that it was his second fucking fight and he had to take all that on, and he wasn't a pussy about it. He could have turned around and says, "I'm not fucking accepting this fight, and I'm just pulling out." No,
he didn't have the clause, did he? He didn't have a clause that meant Salido had to have a rehydration limit or anything like that. It was his team being that.
No, it doesn't matter whether or not either. No, like, see if he had no making the weight, they could have easily turned around and says, "No, like do what Haskins done." Fuck you, no. I made the weight, so you can make the weight and just pull out the fight. But he didn't do that. I still took the fight. And I tell you, see when he fucking fights Salido at the end of the year, he's going to smash that fucker. See what I like about Loma? He normally always kind of pivots to the right. That kind of seems straight. But his footwork's fucking faster than most cunts' horns. He's absolutely fucking rapid. Like his combinations are honestly, man, I just want to fucking get my ball beat there now, but I'm watching the fibre.
I think his footwork's the best in the sport, quite clearly.
I just think there's so many different aspects to the game which are just ridiculous. Like his jab, like he doesn't even throw one. I was noticing it. I've not noticed with him before. So he always throws at least two. So it's like, well, if one doesn't land, I'll get with the second one. And then he's back in position. And he's like leading off with straight left.
Oh, mate, that's
my favourite thing I've seen this year is the end of the third round when he twatted him with that left hand, and then he just walked back and like laughed at him.
He's got that nasty bit about him. If you noticed that though, he the kind of, he's not obviously got the viciousness of Kovalev, but see when he lands a fucking belter of a punch, he'll just laugh at the opponent. And I was like, I don't know if that's an Eastern European thing. That's just to be there. But
it's going into him that.
That's exactly what they said on HBO.
Did they?
Yeah,
I'm amazing.
I feel like
I'm amazing.
That from Kellerman. Kellerman went, I don't know. He literally said, I don't know if this is the Eastern European thing, but Golovkin, Kovalev, Lomachenko, they all laugh when they hit you with a really good punch and hurt you. And he said, I don't know if it's a sort of former Soviet trait, but you know
what else impressed me with as well. I don't mean like his inside game, but his up close game. The way he would just he would just kind of fucking maybe like a foot away. He would just kind of step back a wee bit and he'd just start throwing combinations like his uppercuts, his hooks and all that. I've never seen a guy that has got so much in an arsenal.
He did land a peach of an uppercut on the inside as well.
Oh, fuck me, man! He's got every fucking punch. What's so sad about this is that he's probably only going to fight twice a year because Bob Arum's fucking Bob Arum's got him on such a fucking big minimum that HBO's not going to pay the money, and Bob Arum's turning around and saying, if HBO don't start paying the money, I'm going to have to put Lomachenko on pay-per-view. I was like, Bob Arum's as bad as Eddie Hearn now with the way they're just trying to lob any fucker on pay-per-view. I know maybe HBO are not paying the money, but why should fucking other people subsidise for your mistake because you wanted to get Lomachenko that much, you fucking gave him a guarantee $750,000 every fight, but I know Martinez is no fucking world beater. He is. He's world level, right? But Ricky Burns fucking took that soul, right? But fuck me, man. He just absolutely fucking winged him, and it was the point. We'll go on his light cannon later on because I think this guy, his light cannon is fucking seriously underrated, right? And I'll explain why later, right? But Lomachenko had every fucking punch in the book, and see what about that where? His footwork was that quick before fucking Martinez knew he was behind him, and by the time Martinez turned round to face on him, he hit him with about 4 fucking rapid.
Yeah, that was the 4th round, towards the end of the 4th round. And I was just like, what the fuck? It was mental.
Yeah, but what I noticed was he did that a couple of times in that fight. Do you remember when he fought that lad who looked like Pacquiao out in McCann? Remember that one?
Yeah.
Like his third fight.
That was before Algeria, wasn't it? That was before.
Before the Algeria. Yeah, exactly. Before the Algeria fight, like his third fight. He was doing the same thing. He kept sort of. He was flipping around. I made a vine of it, and it was when he hurt his hand, so he couldn't punch with. I think he couldn't punch with his left. He'd hurt his left hand, so he was just like throwing these single right pot shots. And but he was doing that thing where he sort of spun. He like pivoted on a dime and ended up behind the guy. And but instead of hitting him, he sort of made a face and like taunted him. But this time he was actually hitting Martinez when he spun him round. And I think it looked like he was developing kind of a mean streak, which is obviously a good sign that he's adapting to the pros and stuff. Because
he's definitely learning the game a bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know whether the weight made a difference, but there seemed to be a lot more snap in his punches as well.
Also, his biceps compared to it, like Martinez has always looked like a very thin guy, right? He always looks quite drained, I think.
He always looks like a skeleton.
Yeah, he always looks like a skeleton at any weight he's at. But Lomachenko looked like he had, big biceps. He had big, sort of much bigger shoulder muscles than Martinez. And he's actually got quite long arms for his height because he's pretty short for 130. But he's got pretty long arms. He had a slight reach advantage over Martinez, which is surprising when you look at the frames of both guys. And I agree with you. He's got all the skills. I just think people need to slow down a little bit because 2 years ago, Mikey Garcia was knocking out a better version of Martinez than we saw last night. Garcia also beat the shit out of Salido, put him down 4 times, etc. And I think I'd like to see. I want to see Loma in with a genuine sort of
But
top
see,
five guy at the weight.
flip
That's what
side
I
of
would-
that. Fair
He
enough, but
would waste Vargas.
Right, the flip side of that is like that's only 7 fight, right? See, I think people were far too hard on him after his first 4 or 5 fights, saying that he's just one. He's got that fucking amateur style about him and all that. All he does is kind of frozen moves and that. He doesn't sit down his punches and you're like. So I says to Adam Abramovich, I was like, he gets some amount of fucking grief off of people, like, basically making out as if he was like a Zhou Shiming, and like, he's no. I was like, what he's got? I was like, he can't go for 395 amateur fights to turning pro and automatically turning into fucking Golovkin. I was like, he's going to have to change a bit. Like, and we seen this. He sat down in his punches a lot more. Fuck me, see that fucking left uppercut, right hook. Fuck. Honestly, fuck, you'll not get a better fucking combination. That was absolutely fucking world class. And Martinez has been stopped with one guy, Mikey Garcia, and I think Mikey Garcia is fucking serious world class when he was fighting, right? That was a fucking monster, a fucking knockout, and that was a knockout. It wasn't a TKO. I don't know what the fucking ref was doing. That he wiped him out. That is fucking.
Yeah, Garcia knocked him out with body shots. Martinez had never been completely clocked like that before. But at the same time, Martinez has been around for a long time. I do think this wasn't a prime Martinez. Although, look, he did look fantastic. I just don't think the opponent was completely.
Oh, but I think when you're looking at it, though, but I always think when you're looking at it, you don't just, the opponent has some things in it, but I always think, could he get away with that if he was fighting Vargas or Miura? Yeah, he would. He'd be able to do the same things. It's not just that Martinez wasn't at his best. It was just ridiculous. He was in and out of range. He was fucking landing shots when he was some distance out of range. He did that in the first round a few times, and that's when Martinez just thought, well, what the fuck am I going to do here?
Yeah, the hand speed difference was massive.
After about 90 seconds, 2 minutes of that fight, Martinez had already fucking thought, well, I'm fucked here.
There was a straight left he threw, and I literally didn't even see it. It just went boom, and he just started stumbling back, and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't see that.
And they were landing completely clean down the middle, weren't they?
Yeah, straight through the pipe. Like I don't know what it is with these Eastern Bloc guys, but they fucking love their straight punches, don't they?
But they're all really clean, they're nice clean punches what he throws as well. It's not like no messy stuff from him, it's all fucking, it's just bang on, innit? It's like, the thing is, he's only had 7 fights, he'll go and he'll probably beat Salido, then he'll probably, and this is the thing, he's not
he wants a Salido rematch, doesn't he? And Salido, to be fair, he didn't look very marked up. He looks like he might be ready to fight again in a few months. I know we've all heard that Vargas is taking the rest of the year off because of his cuts and stuff, and to be fair, he does look like he needs to. I don't think that's an excuse. Salido looked like Salido looked pretty fat, actually. Did any of you see him in the locker room?
Yeah.
He looked like he'd done a Kell Brook. After like a week, he'd put on about a stone. It was brilliant.
He's been eating that dirty Mexican meat.
You got that mixed-up champ, Rolando fucking Cruz that did Kell Brook.
See, I don't, like, his face that wasn't really that marked up after the Vargas fight. See, when I seen him standing next to Lomachenko, I was like, I wonder if his face is all swelled up since then. It looks as if he'd been stung with a fucking bee.
Yeah.
He looked like you know how they pictures Maidana after he'd fucking feasted.
Yeah, his face was really swollen, wasn't it? Like, and his neck was much bigger. It was weird. Like he'd swallowed a bee or something. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, so okay, we can hope that the Salido rematch later this year. I think it looks like both guys want to do it. I'm sure HBO would be happy to put the money up, so hopefully that will happen. And and it'd be nice if Walters grew a pair and wanted to fight him. I can't see it happening.
Does the Walters fight have the appeal at the minute now though? Because he's been a fucking little maggot. I'd much rather, like, Pedraza's fucking piped up saying he wants to fight Lomachenko.
He's been aiming, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, the true test of Lomachenko is going to be when he finally steps up and faces Stephen Smith. Then we'll see how good he is.
I don't think he's going to take that fight.
I don't think any of the top guys want a piece of Stephen Smith.
Well, they don't. I think that obviously Vargas and Miura would rather knock lumps out of each other again than fight Smith. Salido's just blatantly ducking that. Don't want to have a final eliminator, so he's just going to go and get beaten off a load.
But about, I'm trying to stay as positive as I can, but I need to fucking bring in a bit of fucking stupidity here. What about fucking... Did anybody watch the Box Nation version of this?
Yeah.
No, I watched the HBO one.
What the fuck was Bunsey all about turning around and fucking mentioning Lomachenko versus fucking Terence Crawford at some point, and like Barry's like, but there's like weight difference. I know, but like Terence Crawford can come down, he can come up. It's a super fight. We had to wait 6 years for like fucking Floyd v Manning. What the fuck are you talking about? Barry's that? There's a difference between fucking smaller weights going up £10. It's not realistic. I know some people do it like it's a Pacquiao Floyd, no, but realistically, come on, fuck, like fucking Crawford is like he's basically a welterweight. Fucking drained himself down to lightweight at one point.
He's not going back down to 135, Crawford.
No chance.
He's not going to. He can barely make 140s. It isn't fucking Lomachenko's just basically come up to 126, and Bunsey says some mad shit. What about that fucking the Russian fucking ones that leathered English fans? This has all happened because they're all fucking MMA. They're basically blaming the UFC for fucking English fans getting done in. The guy's a real good man. Don't get me wrong, man. I like some of what Bunsey says, and like I've listened to his podcast. The podcast for last week where he got Hauser and they got like one of Ali's like close friends and all. It was a fucking really good podcast. He does know people and he's quite good at that. But fuck me, man. He says some fucking retarded shit on that show and on Twitter. Sometimes he just needs to fucking.
It's a bullshit. My mate doesn't know much about boxing at all, and he always texts me when Bunsey ends up on TalkSport, and he always says to me the same thing over and over again: is Bunt sounds like a man who is bullshitting on like TalkSport because he knows the people listening can't call him out on it. He reckons he's just a fucking idiot, and says, "Well, yeah, that's pretty much true."
Well, Tommy for Boxing Asylum says that what you'll find is that the likes of fucking Bunsey, and you'll get a bit like I'll say Eddie Hearn and all, man, because I don't think that guy knows shit. They'll never ever talk about a fight and break it down. Like, you know how like Barry Jones is obviously was an ex-boxer, right? But the way he breaks fight down is fucking excellent. You'll never ever hear Bunsey say stuff like he's made like fucking. He's not like an analyst. He's just some cunt at the side fucking yapping.
But that's the point, though. You're supposed to have that because when you have like boxing's on, you're not going to have free boxing people because it'll just fucking collapse on its face, won't it? So. He's just there to sort of keep order. He doesn't need to say that, no, but he's sort of there to keep order.
Here's a good one for you. Next Friday, so the 24th of June, for some reason the fight's happening in Beijing, don't know why, but Fortuna is fighting Jason Sosa, that guy who got a draw with Walters. Sosa's not that good. Fortuna should win, but Fortuna's a real action fighter. That could be a good opponent for Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko would beat him, obviously, but that could be a real fun sort of shootout fight. That's not a bad opponent.
Like, I don't think, but like, there's no one I'd favour to beat Lomachenko.
No, but you still want to see him, you know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I mean in that context. So I mean,
what I want is I want him to fight a puncher, and I want to see him take a shot, because Salido, as much as he can punch a bit, he doesn't hit you in the face generally. He tends to hit you in the body and below the belt. What I really want is I want the Vargas Miura rematch at some stage, although whether that'll ever happen with Vargas's face. And then the winner of that to fight the winner of Salido versus Lomachenko.
If he wins them two
I would
fights,
really like to see him fight Miura, and if he can dominate and sort of hurt and knock out Miura, which he may well be able to do, I think that will be a real sort of that'll be a win that would kind of the pound for pound, the proper pound for pound discussion.
But let me play devil's advocate with that, because if he fights Miura and chins him, because a lot of people already saying that he was pretty shot when Vargas fought him, and that's why they're saying the fights have finally got to him. Blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
I think he's past his best, and Vargas almost took him out in the first round as well. Remember, he hurt him quite badly.
I just basically think the best names for him to fight is either Salido or Walters, right? Walters preferably, because for some reason people think he's a fucking boogeyman, even though his only 2 wins are against guys that were midgets. That were short midgets, right? Or Salido. 2 seconds, Angel. Or Salido, because like people think he beat he beat Martinez last year, so he should have had the WBO belt. And some people had him beating like Vargas, so he should be the unified champion. So, and I don't think Vargas is maybe going to fight this year. His face is a fucking mess. So I think the only two people should be Walters or Salido, and he'll be fine with that. Otherwise, Pedraza gets fucking wasted, right? And I don't think that Heyman and Arum are working each other anyway. I don't give a fuck.
You'd like to think that if let's say Lomachenko beats Salido impressively in the rematch, then maybe Walters would they could put enough pressure on him to actually take it. Because I can't, surely HBO will say, well, look, you're not getting back on our network unless you're going to fight this guy. Like, they offered him didn't they offer him $500,000? He said he wanted $1 million. I mean, maybe in the future they could offer him $600,000-700,000.
Lomachenko offered him
very good money for that
money. 300,000 of his money. Loma says, I'll give you 300,000 of my money if you beat me. So whatever money that you were wanting that you're not getting, you'll get it now if you beat me. When Hearn does shit like that, we fucking shite on him, but that's because fuck knows, man. I don't know where I'm going here. I'm going to try to fucking worm out it now because but
no, but that's not like a 60-40 to the winner. That's if you think you're worth this much money and you think you can beat me, then I'll give you the money to make up for what you're not getting paid by Bob, so to speak, innit?
I just think
you're investing in yourself. If you're that confident, you take that because there's no risk on your behalf. But what about that Corrales who chinned Uchiyama?
Yeah, but that was a. Oh yeah.
He's quite long and a little bit slick. I'd
like to see that. He's very fast as well. That would be a good fight.
Yeah, and
there's loads of good fights like that at 130.
I think 130 is becoming the best, one of the best divisions if they fight each other. But I think there's more chance of them fighting each other.
It's just a shame that Stephen Smith was so unlucky that he happened to go up against the best champion in the division by a mile and an outstanding world champion in Pedraza.
And he got robbed as well.
Hearn genuinely said,
"Come on."
Smith came up against the toughest champion in the division. He genuinely said that on an IFL interview. Pedraza is half the fighter Lomachenko is. Literally, he's 50% worse.
That's being generous as well.
All right, then. But let's go through the guys who beat Pedraza. Right, so
Vargas would beat him easily.
Vargas,
Lomachenko wasted him.
Lomachenko, Salido.
Walters
would beat him.
Yeah.
Uchiyama probably beat him.
Maybe not now, but he would have done.
I don't know. Alright, and that Corrales had beat him.
Yeah.
And the Cherry pretty much beat him and got robbed a little bit. What about
Fortuna might give him a good fight, might beat him.
Yeah.
I don't think
he's top 10 at a push, isn't he?
I don't think he's in the top 7 or 8, to be honest.
No.
Very average champion, and he still easily beat Stephen Smith. But don't let our facts get in the way of the IFL narrative. But right, anyway, so that's the HBO card. Let's we all watched Enzo on the Friday.
See, just one more thing.
Yeah, go on, Brian. Yeah.
Just to kind of get the card back up. Zeus, I mean, he was fucking stinking, right? I don't even want to talk about him. I fast forwarded that full fight. He's fucking gash. But see that guy he went fucking 10 rounds with? Did one of you not tell me that Selby fucking smashed him in 2 rounds?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Aye.
Andrew Selby. In his second fight, weren't it?
Fuck, that boy's 19 and he's had 17 fights already. The guy's going to be a cabbage, but he's going to be fucking 24. He'll not even be able to handle Ibiza when he's in his fucking mid-20s.
Yeah. So before this guy in his second fight, and this guy were unbeaten, Selby chinned him, obviously. Then he fought some other randomer in Hungary and got beat, and then he's fought Shimin. Shimin's wank, man. He is not suited to the pros whatsoever. No. He's a Chinese.
He's 35-year-old, I know.
I seen that fight live. I was at that one when Andrew Selby beat him, and this bloke is a pure cabbage. Didn't
fucking Zhu Shimin get $500,000 for a 4-round debut, or were it $1 million? I can remember when he made his debut, it was something mental. It's like, oh yeah, he's fucking getting like $250,000 a round.
I don't know, but him and Lomachenko were already millionaires before they turned pro anyway, so... Mike Reed, he got a win. 6 rounds TKO. I didn't get to see that fight. Fuck knows. That wasn't on HBO. And it was like Julian Rodriguez. I know he was fighting a guy like was 21-8, but he just came out the first round and not like fucking put the guy down 4 times. He absolutely fucking pummeled him, man. He looks quite decent. Him, Julian Rodriguez, a welterweight. So I just want to kind of act on insurance. Just say we might keep an eye on him. Get it up you. Welterweight. Nah, good division. Anyway, carry on.
Not too bad, but I was going to pop over to the card on Friday on Box Nation, just because I think a few of us watched Enzo, didn't we, on Friday?
Yeah, watched that one round.
Yeah.
And obviously he's retired now. I think probably it's a good decision. But although he let himself down a bit by going on the Asylum, who've proven themselves to be casuals, given their points haul at the weekend.
Yeah, don't talk about
Quite
that.
But you're playing. You and Ainsley are deliberately choosing the wrong thing, whereas the Asylum are actually trying.
What? I didn't even pick anything.
Yeah, you deliberately didn't
And
anything.
you're still above me.
Got 0, and you still did better than Andy P. But we're not gonna get into point scoring. We don't really do that on this show. Brian and me did the best out of everyone.
Yeah. Has there ever been a guy that takes less of a punch than Macronelli? Honestly, man, like, as soon as he gets clipped, it's as if like as soon as he takes a fucking decent punch, he's like, man, I'm fucking ready for my.
He goes
day.
to Bambi on ice straight away.
Oh, fuck me, man,
and he stays hit as well.
What the fuck was he doing, man? Like,
he's got no recovery. That's the problem with Enzo, because a lot of guys get hurt, but they recover from it. You know, guys like Maidana gets hurt in like every single fight, but he recovers. Enzo never recovers. Have you ever seen him badly rocked and come back and actually win a fight? I don't think I've ever seen it happen.
No, as soon as he's rocked, that's it.
As soon as he's rocked, it's over. It's just
he's
done.
the opposite of Ndam.
Even yeah, exactly. And even Amir Khan gets hurt and has come back. Like, but yeah,
he's never lost a fight. He's not been stopped. Well, no include the Bremer fight, right? Because like that was
8 losses, 8 KOs. Yeah. It's a crazy record. I can't think of any other fighter that's had. I mean, Mitchell, obviously, he's 4.
Derry's been KO'd like 7 times.
Yeah, but in terms of like all of his losses coming by
that's true.
it's quite rare.
Mitchell?
Yeah, but Mitchell was robbed by the referee.
I was at his fight against Ola Afalabi, and I was like, who's this fucking big lump of shit he's fighting? This guy looks fucking gash, man. He gets absolutely fucking stuffed in that. And then after it, I'm just like these.
Who was that guy who got chinned by Rick Frankel, who then never fought again?
Yeah,
that was fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, see out of 1, 2, 3, 4. See out of.
He should have retired after that.
Out of 4 fights, out of 4 fucking fights, he fought David Hay, Afolabi, and Lebedev. I mean, the guy's ballsy, man. He would have fought any fucker, but David Hay, Afolabi, and Lebedev, 3 out of 4 fights. Fuck me, man.
In fairness, the Oval Mackenzie one was a bit bullshit, but he probably would have got chinned anyway.
That was a fucking shock.
But like, when he got chinned by Frankel, he should have quit. That was fucking horrendous.
I mean, to be honest, it's amazing that the guy and the Hay knockout was brutal as well. He was all over the place. Do you remember? Like
he hurt Hay as well just before.
Skipping around the ring. Yeah.
He hurt Hay, and then he got hurt himself, and it was game over.
He could punch a little bit in his day, but
he can punch a fair bit, but
yeah,
he's a big fucking guy. They all can punch. That's the thing.
But respect to Enzo. He's a nice guy. Quite a good commentator, I think, when he's on Box Nation, and you know, it seems to be well liked in the especially in
maybe
Wales.
He should have stayed. Yeah.
I think it might.
Maybe he should have stayed at like heavyweight.
Yeah, he could.
He
was never good at.
Imagine he got like. Imagine instead of who beats Chilemba, like they got fucking Enzo over to fight like Kovalev over in Russia. Could you imagine that? That'd be a fucking slaughter. But was there any good fights on this card? Because I tell you, man, I wasn't fucking watching this card.
No, there wasn't.
No.
I don't watch Warren yet anymore, really. I can't be arsed with it.
Yeah, I just watched the Enzo fight. In that case, should we go on to Showtime then? Because we had three good fights, I thought, or decent fights on there. That was start from the bottom. The first one was Zlatikanen finally getting a shot at the WBC after what? He's been mandatory for like a year, hasn't he, or something?
So he beat Burns, weren't it?
Yeah,
Burns an eliminator?
finally got a shot, was supposed to fight that Marsili, he pulled out. He fought some guy, Mamani, who was ranked, on BoxRec, he was 83rd in the division. He was awful.
He's part-time as well.
We like Zlatican, and he's a nice guy, he's a good fighter, but the opponent was shite. And he hurt him with, remember, he hurt him with like the first punch. He had him all over the place with his first hook. It landed on the top of his head, and the guy just went completely jelly-legged.
Even before that, Shep, he banged in 2 body shots, and the bloke just backed off like he set himself straight away. Within 15 seconds, I thought, here we go then, done.
He took the fight on 2 weeks' notice, that guy. He's a policeman. He's not even a full-time fighter. How is he fighting for a world title? It's ridiculous.
What make you, like, my opinion in this fight, like, the guy was shite that he was fighting, right? But see what everyone's like Cannon was doing in that ring. It kind of looked natural to him. It wasn't so much that the opponent was shite. It just looked as if what he was doing, he would have done it anyway. And I just think, look, see, because he's white, I'm going to use this. See, because he's white and he's a come forward fighter, he gets the same the stereotype like Golovkin and all that. But his defence is seriously underrated. See what I noticed to him? He would parry loads of shots with his fucking shoulders or his arms, and like, see when the guy's throwing a jab and that, he would just fucking parry it away with his glove, and he wasn't taking a lot of punches, right? Granted, the guy wasn't great and all that, but I noticed more like his left hand's fucking dynamite, right? But his defence is really, really good. I know people are turning around and say, oh, see if he goes in with like Flanagan or not, but you need to kind of take into consideration, if this guy's not getting hot a lot and off, while the fact that he's an aggressive fighter, he's going to fucking get to most people in that division, man. I really rate him, and see, every time he looks good and kills some cunt, it just makes like Ricky Butler, the loss, seem that little bit easier, and it makes Ricky look even better, because I think Zlaticannon's a boogeyman in that division. People don't really want to mention his name or not. It's all Linares, this, Linares, that.
It's only one person who won't mention his name. To be fair, I heard Warren mention it, but it's fucking Gallagher, who just decides when he's going to say something, he's going to say it whether it's right or wrong. Well, Linares is the real WBC champion anyway. Well, it didn't fucking matter when Rigonda was the real WBA champion, did it? But
it doesn't matter that we'll get onto that and all, but like, if that's the case, then when Andre was saying he's the real champion, Paul Smith had a fucking bee in his bonnet, be saying, my brother's got the belt, but we'll go into that because of why shitting that big fat bastard anyway. But anyway, he's like Cannon, man. Good performance. I liked it. He was taking no prisoners. As soon as he fucking got in there, he's like, I'm killing this dude.
I've not seen it yet.
He just came out like seek and destroy pretty much, didn't he?
Oh, fucking big time.
As quick as he could.
But it's not one of... On you go.
Go on.
No, on you go.
Well, not that was so far, but did you ever see Zlatican against Red Catch?
Yeah.
Who Ludi Bell was wanking over. I think that performance sort of went on the radar a bit, because he fucking smashed him. Absolutely wrecked him. And like,
he's a really good finisher.
He was the underdog for that fight. Zlatican as well, which was mental.
Well, that was the one when he wasn't fully known in America, that was he?
No. But that's when he was in DMs telling us, and then he fucked off because Brian sent a picture of his dick.
Oh yeah, he was furious.
It was fucking livid, absolutely fucking livid.
It was one of the funniest Twitter moments I've ever done. Do you know that guy Wheels in America, the one who's always tweeting about wrestling and stuff?
Aye.
Me and him tweeting about he loves Zlatican. He's like always been massively high on him because he was watching the Burns fight, and I remember him going mad about it. And he's been in America. They didn't know Zlatican. They were all raving about Red Catch, like you say. He was the favourite. It was a bit stupid, and all the Euro guys were saying, no, honestly, this Zlatican guy is quite good. He could do it here. And Wheels and me were tweeting him saying good luck, and then he kept saying this is a what do you call it when it's a catfish account. It's a woman trying to pretend to be a man. And Zlatican was like, what is catfish? I don't understand.
We've all been there. I've been stung in that.
But then we said, right, if it's really you, take a photo. And he took a selfie of himself, like, that just stood in his kitchen. And then Wheels went, no, we don't know it's him. We need to see his shoes. So he then took a photo of his like training shoes, and he had these Under Armour shoes with Dejan written on them. And he went, yeah, now take a picture of you with the shoe. Of your face with the shoe. And we got a picture of him with the shoe on his head.
Did you ask him how many fingers to hold up?
I'll try and dig the tweets out. It was so funny. He took a photo of himself with the shoe on his head, and then he went, enough now, please believe me. It was amazing. It was one of the...
What did you say now when some... Because we were talking to him all night, and he told us about that fight. Brian sent him a picture of Dick, and the first message back was just like, "Why? Why?"
It was furious.
He did go mental hard.
He was mere fucking angry at them when Tom fucking done it to Rios. Rios was fucking pissed off, man. But you know what he's like? He's that pure fucking ghetto cunt, isn't he? Like, why you fucking show me your dick, man?
He would have
Yeah.
Tom if they'd been. Yeah, he'd just fight you if you started any gay shit.
Aye. That was funny. His like Karen was fucking
Who
no
didn't know how
happy.
to get out of the DMs?
Huh?
Was it who was
That
trying to
was
get out,
Rios.
but they couldn't get out? Oh yeah,
That was real. He went, how do I leave this shit?
Mine, we added Frankie Boyle and I showed him a picture of my dick and he blocked me. I was fucking
blocked
raging
it
at
as
that.
well. Fucking prick. That were at Christmas, that. Just having a fucking...
I'm fucking
That's
raging,
so
Frankie.
right. Having open DMs, man.
I know.
Let that be a lesson to people everywhere. Don't have open DMs because you could end up with a picture of Brian's dick.
Well, they were a good times. They were
But it weren't even a picture of your dick to him, because it were a picture of your balls with the googly eyes on that everyone had been fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, Gatikanin, first ever world champion from Montenegro, which is quite.
Yes, it is.
And he seems like the sort of guy who he doesn't have the major. I know he's with Heyman, but he's not like a major star who's going to be protected. I think he'll be in good fights moving forward. I think.
Jason, man, you're a fucking pain in the arse, man. I actually fucking hate you. See when you phone up the asylum and all, I can't stand your fucking stupid, daft. What is that fucking ghetto fucking voice of yours, man? I fucking can't stick to you. See your fucking pish where like fucking Andre beats Golovkin and fucking this beats that, man. You're one of the fucking bollocks that just fucking ends up supporting black fighters. You're a fucking bollock. Fucking
said that?
die. That
I bet he
fucking
loves
Jason
Laura.
Chuck Woo or whatever, man. He's a fucking tosser, man.
Well,
See some of the shit that he says about. I mean, every cunt knows I'm the biggest fucking Floyd fan, but you're a fucking wankstain. You make us sound fucking bad. Get to fuck you fucking prick.
I thought that was MV Casual.
Fucking clown shoe that boy is. Absolute fucking clown shoe. Anyway.
You're talking about Rory
What? Oh, he's talking shit about ban him from the chat.
No, don't ban him for the shit. Keep him on so I can fucking rage at his piss.
Right, I'm going to fucking rip his throat out for what he's just said.
What's he said?
Who thinks overrated? Go back in, smokes him. I'm going to fucking...
Crack on with Andrade anyway.
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, the next fight was Andrade versus Andrade versus Nelson, wasn't it? That was the co-main. Yeah, brilliant, another brilliant performance. Andrade, pound for pound fighter if he can get the fight, I think.
Oh, my man Boo Boo is going to fucking storm that division and fuck every cunt up.
I saw some highlights of that, but I didn't see the full thing.
Oh man, it was fucking tremendous. Oh Jesus, man. And
you know what I did like? I don't know why, but I seem to have been praising quite a bit today. But I liked that he obviously got the fight completely won by the 12th and still went and chinned him anyway instead of doing that little gay faggy shit that people tend to do now and just fuck about.
Honestly, he's a really good finisher when he gets people in trouble because he doesn't fight for the KO. You know, he's not a Mike Tyson stalker, but when he gets hurt, he's like DeGale. DeGale's a fantastic finisher as well when they recognise that you're hurt. It's just that they don't necessarily fight to hurt you. That makes sense. It sounds a bit strange to say that. But
Andrade's got more killer in him than fucking DeGale. Look at DeGale in his last fight. Like, if that had been Andrade in a similar situation.
I'm not saying that. I mean that.
I know what you mean.
But they're both fighters who are good finishers when the other guy's hurt. Like honestly, DeGale. If DeGale had hurt Porky Medina at any point, I think he would have got him out of there because he's really good at sensing, you know, when a guy's hurt and when to jump on them. And Andrade is unbelievably good at kind of chipping away, and then kind of knowing when to
He done a 4-punch combination yesterday where like, the commentator was basically saying he hadn't done much and he might be losing this round, and just all of a sudden he just fucking unleashed a 4-punch combination, and it's the way that he kind of just shifts his punches. It was like maybe like a left to the body, then a right to the body, but as soon as he's done that, he's fucking up to the head and doing a 1-2 to the head and all. It's fucking magic, and like that's another guy that's got every fucking punch in the book and on. It's just I hope he gets the opponent seat. Like Willie Nelson, I wanted that in the predictions league because I really did think it'd be like a tight fight, and he absolutely fucking ran right through him. And I know Andre got hurt in the second round, but right, I'll be honest here, Ainsley's on here, right? see if that was Kell Brook that got hurt in the second round, I would look at faults for that, whether because I don't like him, right? But see because I like Andre, I look at it the way like when Floyd get fucking punched with Mosley, he's fucking intelligent enough to fucking grab onto fuckers because he was hurt to ride it out, right? So, like, I know people are saying, oh, he was hurt and all that, but I take it the total opposite way. He was hurt, but he's smart enough in that ring to be able to, when he's hurt, he knows what to do. Hold on until he fucking clears his head. But he's like, he treated Willie Nelson like the same way he treated like Brian Rose, and I think Willie Nelson would kill Brian Rose. It's just like every fucking punch they threw, his jab, his straight right, like, even like his uppercut, like I mean, even Nelson in the 11th round, see if that belt didn't go, he was getting finished in that fucking round. Absolute fucking, he get leathered in that 11th round, and I don't know, like, just one of the punch. As soon as he hurt him, like he done it in the first round as well, didn't it? He was hurt in the first round. As soon as he hurt him, he just fucking jumped on top of him, just wanted to finish him, and that's what you want. And like, I know, like, I've not heard the asylum yet. I seen people kind of say anyway, I've seen people like saying that they were shitting on him, and I read that, but it's just fucking, it's like ignorance on my part with the cruiserweight division, right? And it's just ignorance on the Asylum's part and all that they shit on the 154 division. Like, maybe a lot of them are slick boxers, not. But seeing you've got guys like Andrade and like one of the Charlos is like that, and all he'll get in for the fucking kill and all. Cotto's going to be back down at 154.
Cotto's got no chance. Cotto's got no chance. He wouldn't even
no chance against any of them, but I think like the fucker will. I'm telling you, by the way,
Cotto will take a knee.
If Cotto's
take a knee against Andrade,
he'll move heaven and earth to get
I'm not fucking shitting on Cotto, right?
Well, I've had it on a major inside source that Liam Smith signed to fight Canelo.
Huh.
Yeah, but aren't they both on PEDs from that same source? They're all. I heard Canelo bought PEDs off Ricky Hatton. That's what I heard from that source.
I said this in the chat, and you all took it as I was shitting on Andrade, but I wasn't. I was just saying, like, there's enough. He's shown enough vulnerability to people for people to take the fight. It's not it's not like he looks unbeatable. There's enough flaws in him for someone to think I can beat him. It's not like where everyone's just going to avoid him like the plague. He's going to get the fight, so he's got a chance of showing it.
Yeah, but that's probably Kell Brook's been hurt, but everyone's ducking him.
Shut up.
That fight, obviously, Andrade won every round. He knocked Nelson down in the first, in the 11th, and then finished him in the 12th. Very good performance. Nelson had never previously been knocked out. He'd been down a couple of times, never really close to being stopped. But Andrade is now mandatory for the WBC. No, not the WBC.
The one that
WBC is the Jamal one. It's the one that fought Trout. No, it's not. It's the one that fought Jackson.
No, it's the one who fought Trout, isn't it?
Oh my God.
No.
Right, no one knows the difference.
Jackson just fought Jamal, fuck knows whatever one it is, but it's the one that just fought Jackson and just won the belt.
No, sorry, Brian, you're right. It's Jamal who fought Jackson and who has Charles Hatley as his mandatory next, and Andrade is mandatory for the winner of that. So
that's not until next year. That's fucking ridiculous.
Probably won't be till next year.
They started doing that at the WBC. They started stacking mandatories, but.
I hope they start doing like the IBF then and maybe fucking take a mandatory every fucking 9 months.
Who wants to see the fucking Hatley fight, for fuck's sake? Just fuck him off. Get Andrade in there.
Yeah, but he beat Mundine, man. If you beat Mundine, you deserve your shot. I'm not having this, man. I'm fucking sick of it. Because this is why I don't come on. Right, you're just slagging off people. That's one of the best wins I've seen in the past 5 or 6 years. He went to Australia, he beat the man in the middle, man. The man in the middle, he beat him.
One of the most avoided fighters of all time.
Floyd didn't want that work to do that Mundine work.
Like, Mundine is basically like a really good Curtis Woodhouse. Woodhouse were pretty shit at football and pretty shit at boxing. Mundine were like fairly decent at rugby and they're a world champion multiple times.
But yeah,
every defeat apart from the Hatley one, he got robbed.
Here's a question, right? Let's take the top contenders at 154, which has suddenly turned into a really interesting division. I think we'll agree. There we go. Well, Sam. Okay, hypothetically, then let's take the top 6 guys at 154. So let's say Lara, Jamal Charlo, Andrade. Who else would you have in there? Austin Trout, and then
I want to have
maybe-
Trout now.
Did you say
all
Lauren?
right. Julian Williams, and then who's the other one? Let's say Cotto.
I'd rather have fucking Veins than Cotto.
Shut up a minute. Let Shep finish.
So
I'm just
right,
saying.
so the six are Andrade, both Charlos, Lara, Julian Williams, and let's say either Cotto or Liam Smith, whichever one you want to pick. They're both. And I'm just saying Liam Smith because he's got a belt, obviously.
See, I don't want to be fucking one of these like ball bags here. Like,
Sounds like you're about to be.
aye, but this Julian Williams thing, like this guy seems to fucking get better because of people that's no fucking fought him or like who he's called down, well, and the shit that he talks in Twitter. He's fought no fucker yet. I mean, like I would fucking put Michael Sorrow ahead of him first because at least he's fucking kills.
Yeah, Sorrow's a decent shout.
All right, fine.
He's gonna make
That's
it.
fine. But no, but sorry guys, I didn't finish. Like I wasn't listing the top six. I'm just listing six guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so
What
fine.
about Ishii Smith?
Yeah, fine.
Shut up. Let Shep finish, man.
Let's throw Sorrow in there, number 7, and then let's throw in as number 8. Let's say Liam Smith as number 8. Okay, so that's the top 8. Pick a matchup of any of those two that you would like to see, and I think you can actually make some really good fights at 154. That was basically my point.
I'd like to see Erickson Lubin versus fucking Liam Smith.
I want to see.
I'd like to see Jamal Charlo, the taller one who fought Trout. I'd like to see him against Andrade. I think that could be a really good action fight because they're both quite heavy hitting.
They're quite boxer punchers, aye, both of them.
Yeah.
Why don't we just get?
I think that could be a really good fight.
I'd have the Charlos fight each other just so one of them can fuck off and go away.
But they're both to be fair, they're not hype jobs. They're both good fighters. I don't have a problem with it, really.
I don't really know why I dislike the 154 division because, like you said, there is good matchups we made in there. I just completely like.
Is it because almost all of the fighters are black?
No, it's not. No racial hatred goes into this at all. It's just I just think of it and I think I'm not interested at all. It's just a division I do not give a fuck about. Like Brian with the cruiserweights, like he just doesn't like it for some reason.
I know what you mean. Like
I can't get down with it. Like I just think when I think of it, I think of Lara and nothing.
No, that's exactly.
More than Lara.
I get your point. Lara,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Lara can be boring as fuck, but Lara's got the talent in the world to be as good as he wants to be, and just that he chooses not to do it. Honestly,
yeah, that frustrates me to the point where I just don't care about it because he is for 6 rounds or in fights he's shown for 6 rounds. He's fucking amazing, and then he just does nothing, and I'm not interested in it.
I think for a while, 154 was a proper kind of brawling division. You had guys like Kirkland, you had sort of a much better version of Cotto. You had guys like Angulo, exactly, guys who really like to slug it out. Brian Vera when he was in his prime, Andy Lee when he but I don't mean elite guys. I just mean action fighters. And then it switched almost overnight, where suddenly Angulo and Kirkland got old, and you had guys like Nara and guys like Vanez, who are very much kind of more sort of conservative boxers. And it suddenly became, and I know what you mean, Sam, it suddenly became really boring for a while. But I do think it's getting more exciting again, and I think it will turn a corner because Lara's got to fuck off at some point. That's what we need. We just need.
He's old though, isn't he, Lara?
We just need Lara to go and someone like a young guy who actually wants to entertain the fans to come in. And I wish.
I think that Lara may be the one to be sacrificed for Andrade with Heyman because he's going to sacrifice one of them sooner or later, and it's probably going to be Lara in it.
But if you're making an action, if you're a matchmaker and you want a fight of the year, which of those do you make? Because I would do Jamal Charlo, the taller Charlo versus Andrade. I think that would be fantastic. I'd also maybe do. I wouldn't mind Andrade versus Liam Smith just because it would look like the Brian Rose fight. It would be so humiliating for Gallagher. It would be. I would just be, I'd have my camera in the corner the entire time. I wouldn't even watch the fight.
Yeah, but all I want if that fight happens, or this is what I want when Liam Smith fights someone who's decent, is to see him pulling his bullshit where he just drops his hands and starts laughing at people. Get him in with Golovkin and go and do it then. Or get him with someone.
You already did it with John Thompson.
That's another thing. You mentioned Golovkin. That's another thing where I don't like the 154 division because every single one of them always calls out Golovkin. Every single one of them. They all mention him for some reason.
Yeah, well, there's people at middleweight calling him out with no intention of fighting him, so it's...
It was even worse when
And at,
it's people
super,
calling him
and
out,
at
no
super
intention of fighting
middleweight.
him.
Yeah, but it's happening at fucking 154, 160, 168.
175 if you count Ward as well.
Well, Ward's a fucking little maggot. He can fuck off.
Anyway, that's enough. 154 is bringing me down. Can we move on to Provodnikov?
All right.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with Andre. Just to summarise it, I've always really liked him, and I've said for a few years that I thought he had the potential to be not a star, but a real kind of elite pound for pound level fighter if he could get the fights. I hope he's back, and won't be bickering with his management for the next 18 months and asking for. Still, one of my favourite values ever, shout out to the Asylum, was when he asked for 50-50 with Canelo. I thought it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Just the ultimate delusion. But hopefully, I'd love to see Andre get a fight with a guy like, with one of the Charlos, or with a guy,
Pull them out, hasn't he?
Yeah, it would be good if he could get a sort of headlining coming out party, as it were, and because I think there are top guys, and he could beat them almost as well as he beat Nelson, because he really is that good. I think on his day. Interesting stat was he landed the punch stats for every punch Nelson landed. Andrade landed 5 as the overall, and also Andrade landed 71% of his headshots. That's ridiculous. 71% punches at the head as well. He's unbelievable, and he's another one, Sam, who he throws out the double jabs incredibly well. One to sort of blind the person, and then a harder jab to follow it up, and then a right hand once the guy's gloves have opened up. It's a lovely combination. He just does it. He does it perfectly every single time.
Hard to defend against that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, I think especially when the guy you're fighting is so tall and has such long arms. And Andrade he's so well built for that weight, like in terms of how tall he is and kind of how he's proportioned.
How the fuck did Nelson make 154?
He's massive. He's like Paul
He's
Williams.
like 7 foot.
Yeah, I think he's 6'3", something like that. Andy Lee made 154 a couple of years ago. And Andy Lee's like 6'2.5" or something, and he's
but he's not much.
He's thin though, and he's not like he's like really spindly. Andy Lee is like fragile, isn't he?
What was I going to say? Yeah, going on to the main event, Brian. I know you're a bit gutted as a guy who had Provodnikov beating Floyd back in the day. Provodnikov obviously losing a unanimous decision to John Molina, who, to be honest, I heard on the Showtime team that they were saying that some bookies had Provodnikov as an 8-1 favourite, which is crazy odds, obviously. But we did. I think we all picked Provodnikov, didn't we, on our side? I think.
Yeah, I think everyone did, didn't they? Other than
no. Kurt picked Molina, so respect to him for calling it. But
fucking bisexual fucking weirdo.
Yeah, Brian, you've sort of put yourself in a corner here because you're gloating about how you always said Provodnikov was overrated and shit, but you didn't. You still picked him to win. So what's going on?
Right, I'll tell you, I've got my card here, and I only watched it to the 5th round. I had Provodnikov like 3-2 up at that point.
Get real.
That's same as Fat Dan. Same as Fat Dan.
Did I?
Molina close but clear. I didn't think it was a blowout at all.
But I stopped watching it. It's fucking awful.
Molina looked like Pernell Whitaker at a point.
Provodnikov in a few years' time is going to be fucking. He's going to have someone to wipe his arse. All this fucking blocking shit with his face is going to fucking come back to haunt him.
This is it. Like, I don't get how people like this. Like, I don't understand it. Like, see, we people like blood and guts. I like watching fucking boxing, and it doesn't need to be like Floyd Mayweather. It can be like fucking Francisco Vargas. I've told everybody that he's my favourite fighter now because he's vulnerable but he can punch. But Provodnikov's shit. I do not like people that's the only fucking talent in the sport is they've got a good chin. What the fuck is good is that? Like, it's not like Froch here where Froch could fucking fight as well, and we all know that Froch had a fucking mega chin. Provodnikov is shit. I've always said that he is the worst fucking boxer on the planet. I would tell you right now, Robin Deaton, talent-wise, has got more talent than this guy. His best fucking win is against a weight drain to fuck. Alvarado, who was never great himself. I can't stand Provodnikov. I fucking hated him. And I know people turn around and say he always kind of maybe came off the wrong side, the decisions type fights. No, I couldn't give a fuck. This is one time that I couldn't give a fuck if some guy gets robbed, because I fucking hate this guy and I want him out of boxing. He is the fucking worst. He done nothing. John fucking Molina is no fucking good boxer, right? And he followed this cunt around the ring. He doesn't even know how to cut the ring off. He is one Eastern European that does not know how to do it. How is that possible? How is he the only cunt with no education? His mom's fucking horrible as fuck. He's an ugly bastard. His family look as if they're like fucking extras out of South Park. South fucking Park, look. His mom looks like fucking that South Park baby, the fucking egg with just a half a heat, half move. He's
Well, they're Eskimos, aren't they?
Oh fuck me!
He eats real moss.
I know what you're saying about you. You don't like people with no skill. You want like a happy medium, don't you? Where they've got a bit of skill.
Fuck me, man! It's fucking abysmal. Like for fighting, and it takes a lot for me to fucking pack in a fight because like I know I'll suck up and I'll just watch it 10. I go to the 5th round and I was like, I can't deal with this. I'm going to go into fucking Twitter and find out the fucking result. And I seen some cunt saying, fucking slag Provodnikov, and I was like, he's no fucking lost this fight, has he? So like, I fucking went on to the Sky app and I seen that he'd lost the fight, and I was like, it shows you how fucking shy he is that he would lose to him. He has never fucking won a big fight. I'm not like Alvarado, right? Okay, but he's living off of fucking going to wars with guys that he loses to. That's all he's living. He is fucking shit.
Well, let's get it right.
Jason, honestly, man, shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. I will block you if you keep up your fucking shitty Mongo trolling, you wee fucking cabbage. Go and fuck off and listen to Anthony Joshua, you wee fucking dick, because that's all you sound like. Yeah, you get me, yeah, you get me, yeah, you fuck off! Right.
Brian, a couple of things I'd say in response is, first of all, I think, you know, this wasn't like prime. It's not like he's a hype job who's been exposed.
He's never had a fucking prime. He's that shit. He's never had a peak because he's that shit.
Here's my argument. I think, and I was watching the fight through today against Molina, and then I went back and watched the first half of the Matisse fight against Provodnikov, and I sort of realised it's amazing actually if you think about it. Molina's gone through both of those two guys and still seems to be okay. Molina's been in some really hard fights in his career, but he still seems to be sort of largely all right. I know he's not a great fighter, but
hold on, just
still seems to be chugging on.
I think Matisse is mentally fragile. I think that's what it is with him.
But anyway, sorry. My point was that it occurred to me watching that it's pretty obvious that Matisse and Provodnikov beat the prime out of each other, to be honest. And I think that both guys after that fight were never really the same. You know, Matisse quit against Postol and then cancelled the Herrera fight, said he doesn't know if he wants to fight anymore. Provodnikov didn't he fight Castillo or something, 45 years old? And then
he fought someone in Monaco, didn't he?
Molina. He fought like South America, yeah. But yeah, I think Provodnikov. My counter argument to you, Brian, and I was, you know, I liked watching him fight, but I was never sort of a crazy fan who was saying that like he should get the Pacquiao fight or anything like this. But I would say I had him beating Algieri quite clearly, and I also think if you score the first round at 10-8, which it was against Bradley, then Provodnikov wins that fight on the judges' cards. So there is actually, you know, there's a good argument to say instead of one big win against Alvarado, he should have 3, but like you said, in his last 7 fights since he's been on sort of prime US TV, he's won 3 and lost 4. I think that's correct. So he's actually got a losing record in big fights, which obviously is proof that he's not an elite fighter at all. And it's a shame. It looked to me like he couldn't pull the trigger anymore in that Molina fight. It looked a bit like Shane Mosley, you know.
He couldn't even fucking throw a jab. It was fucking pawing it to fucking just throw a fucking hook.
I don't think I've ever seen him throw a jab.
He'd get Molina pinned against the ropes, and then he wouldn't be able to throw. And you know, a couple of years ago, in those sort of positions, he would have been all over the opponent. And he looked like Shane Mosley to me. He just couldn't pull the trigger at all.
I'm telling you right now, like he's fucking shit. He's fucking absolutely shit. And I don't care what you say and how much you hate Broner. Broner would school this fucking loser. Absolutely fucking school him.
but he had no interest in fighting him for however long for the last 2 years. It's all very well saying after the guy's passed it, oh yeah, I'd beat him easily, but
he's only had 30 fucking fights.
Yeah, but his style, mate. Come on, he's taken more punches than most guys would take in 3 careers.
You know what else annoys me about him? And this might come across as fucking racist, right enough. His fucking skin. It's as if it's all fucking stretched. It's as if it's like fucking. It's just been. It's like. Oh, it's just been, his skin's just been fucking moulded onto a fucking skull. Like he cuts dead easy. Everything about him annoys me. His fucking hair. He's got shit hair. He's receding and all that. He's got dead short fucking stupid French and everything. I'm fucking infuriates me. I fucking hate him. See if I was going to like France to fight casuals, I'd take him with me because he could take a kicking, right? But he is fucking garbage, man. He is literally fucking up there with the worst cunt in the last few years to win a world title. He's fucking gash. I hope he fucks off and I never see him again.
Let's assume he's not going to retire, because he sort of talked. He was quite ambiguous in his words after the fight. He said sort of, "Oh, I don't know if I've got the hunger anymore. I didn't feel the same tonight." But maybe that's because he just had a bad night. Maybe he's going to fight again. Assume he does. Who would you match him up with, Brian? Because he's just signed a 4-fight. We forget he's signed a 4-fight deal with Showtime.
Who to have him matching up with? Right.
He's just signed with Showtime. So who can you put him in on Showtime?
This is a thing with Provodnikov, right? MD with any slight bit of movement, doesn't matter who it is. MD with a slight bit of movement. I think fucking Stephen Hawkins would beat him, and he's a cripple in a wheelchair, right? He gets schooled off Molina, who's shit, right? I'm going to look through the fucking names here, right? Would you
put him in with Broner in, I don't know, September or something?
Aye.
Broner beat him
at 147.
No.
What about?
It would be at 140. I think it would be.
I don't think Broner's doing 140 again, is he?
Well,
what about London's finest, Ashley Fairfain, the man who everyone keeps ducking?
I don't want to see that fucking long either.
What about someone like Figueroa? Someone like that, maybe?
Hi, Figueroa's the sort of guy that would just fucking stand there and trade with him, and Figueroa's fucking
exactly. That could actually be a really good fight, because Figueroa is shit as well.
That's what he's going to need to do. He's going to need cabbage fight, not top level fight. Well, not that Molina's a top level fight, but he's never going to be fighting elite level, world level guys anymore, is he?
He needs a guy like Prime Rio.
If you put him in fun fights, then I got no
You
problem.
know who'd be good? Who'd be a good fight for him? Fucking Sean Porter, because Sean Porter fucking doesn't know how to judge distance either, and he just fucking runs in like a bull. So the two of them would just it'd be just like two big fucking fat cunts that try to shag, wouldn't it? Just two eggs smacking at each other.
We'll be previewing that one next week, won't we? But I know you think Thurman's going to knock him out.
Man, I know I'm going for the fucking mega upset special. I just fucking have a feeling that if somebody fucking can time an uppercut, man, fucking Porter's there to get knocked out. And Broner showed you that fucking felt on his arse.
Brook hit Porter a couple of times, and I think Thurman hits harder than Brook. All in.
Brook fucking wobbled him.
Yeah, fucking badly at the end of the round.
Brook fought very
well. We're going to that next week, man. I think Figueroa's done, no man. Like, he's fucking always partying and getting fucking out his wee balls, and he's basically done what people should do when they've like got a bit of celebrity status. Not just shag and get further drugs and just ruin your career. That's what you're meant to do. You're not meant to do like a fucking Floyd and make hundreds of money and fucking live happily ever after. You're meant to fucking hit a fucking bad gene and just end up with nothing and then die in your fucking 40s of an overdose or some shit and end up with TMZ.
I just don't think Figueroa's ever enjoyed fighting, really. I always got that impression, even when he was sort of first breaking through on undercards and stuff. He'd talk about how his dad pushed him into it, and he said, like, oh, it's a good way to make money, and maybe one day I can go back to college. He was never really... I think, Brian, just going back slightly, don't you appreciate Provodnikov in the sense of his will and the fact that he's gone on, his mentality is so strong?
I liked Alvarado fight because he was fucking relentless in that, but it was the same time Alvarado was fucking killing himself to make weight that time. I'm pretty sure he was fucking banged up in the jail.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
Everyone
I've seen
says this, but
something-
Alvarado has fought at 147 ever since. It's not like he went up to middleweight.
no, I know that.
I think people make it. I thought that was a brilliant performance by Provodnikov, and I think he's a guy who, yeah, he doesn't have much skill, but
But
he's
it was
got
at
an
140.
unbreakable mentality, which I think is also good to watch at times.
I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if fucking Hearn was waiting to see if like, Provodnikov won this fight and fucked fucking Ricky. I mean, I'm not saying, like, I mean, just having that fight.
Burns would fancy it, wouldn't he? Surely he'd fancy that fight.
I wouldn't like to have fucking some mad crazy fucking ogre man. Like, seriously, Provodnikov's like Provodnikov was just basically like fucking defrosted out a fucking iceberg, right? And he's a caveman. So he is. I bet he doesn't even know how to fucking make fire or fuck all that. He's just a big mongo, just a big fucking stupid dick.
I'll try and find this. I'll try and find this in the chat. There's a really good painting of him, Brian, as a caveman, like with an axe and like one of those sort of Tarzan like.
I bet he fucking still cares about smacking birds over the head with a chip and just sticks their dick in them and drags them into a cave. That's the sort of fucking weirdo. I hate him. I'm fucking raging hanging about him now. I'm fucking raging. There's not one cunt in here on this fucking list that I would put him in with. You know what? I would just like to. You know what? Fuck him in with Spence. Fuck him in with Spence, man. So Spence can fucking absolutely destroy that cunt. Imagine Spence just fucking using him as a body bag. I fuck him in with.
Spence knocked him out. That's a hell of a statement.
Imagine if he just sent Spence to hell, though, with a free
I would like
shot.
I would like to see Frankie Gomez get down to 140 and fuck him in there. I know he can't because they're with different promoters, but Frankie Gomez likes a fucking bite, a fucking scrap and all. So
do you know what I think Brian's anger is? It's because he knows that there's a chance Provodnikov might get brought in as a Burns opponent, and if Provodnikov knocked Burns out and took his belt, I think it would send Brian over the edge, genuinely.
Well, I'm fucking all over that.
But Sam, what did you think of it? I don't know. Did you watch the fight or score it or anything?
I didn't score it, but I watched it. I didn't find it that interesting. I kind of lost interest at halfway through. It was like the same. To me, it was the same round over and over again. Just Provodnikov chasing him around and getting jabbed in the forehead continuously. I just didn't find it fun.
Chasing fucking Molina, just
that's what I mean. Like, Molina looked like Pernell Whitaker in there at times. Like, I was just like, I was watching it thinking, what the fuck is this? I've not been a fanboy of Provodnikov, but I like him versus Bradley is one of my favourite fights of all time. Like since I've been a big boxing fan, anyway. I love watching that. Like I watch it.
Fun time, Frankie Gavin with fucking school provo. That's how bad that is. And fun time.
Woody fuck.
I wouldn't go that far.
Don't go fucking overboard, man.
Would Bradley beat Provodnikov?
Bradley Skeet would beat
Bradley
Provodnikov.
Skeet would beat him, yeah.
I actually think he probably would. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Bradley Skeet would, but Frankie Gavin wouldn't.
Well, Gavin, I think if Provodnikov got anywhere near Gavin would just sort of he'd collapse, wouldn't he? Like with any sort of
he'd miss him with a punch. A punch would go like past the side of his head and he'd end up falling over.
What about what about Molina? What do you think for him next? Because obviously he looked. I mean, I based my prediction on this. I thought Provodnikov would knock him out, but it was based partly on Molina being completely shot after the performance against Broner, especially where he just didn't throw a punch, did he?
He just followed Broner around, didn't he?
Yeah, and you have to look at that fight now and think there might have been something suspicious going on because he just did not throw at all. And he was coming off the Matisse fight, wasn't he? Where he tried his arse off against Matisse and just sort of
dropped him a few times.
Dropped him twice, got gradually beaten down, and then obviously he jabbed and boxed really well against Provodnikov on Saturday. But then against Broner, he just didn't throw a punch. And you have to think. I haven't asked Charles about it. I'll have to ask him at some stage. But it looks fishy to me, based on what came before and what came after.
Fuck knows. I just hope that Provodnikov never fights again. Molina will end up on the conveyor belt, won't he? And he'll just get chucked in with some other cunt.
I said as a joke, but it might actually come true, that the winner was going to get Danny Garcia. That's the sort of fight Garcia would get, isn't it? Honestly, could you see Molina versus Garcia? I could see that happening, honestly. Classic.
Yeah, I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
Garcia is so irrelevant. It's like mental now.
He just, he's fighting Berto because Berto, he's like he's a really small time version of Floyd. If a guy gets one win on TV, Garcia will fight him. But he will never fight another champion, and he'll never fight, a sort of top contender. But anyway, won't waste time on him. We've got a few, unless anyone's got anything they want to jump onto, we've got a few questions that I had through from the our lovely listeners. So let me just get these up. I've been retweeting that Dejan stuff from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I saw that. That made me laugh. Also, Wilder's sued Rybinski.
Isn't
Well,
that
and also,
Rybinski? Didn't he sue them?
no, it's just they've just filed a lawsuit. But also, Gareth A. Davis, is doing a Q&A with Anthony Fowler on TalkSport. So he's asking for questions on Twitter. So
all of our lovely listeners, please send
Did
in
we mention,
the Wolverine.
Brian, did we mention Wilder versus Areola last week or not?
I don't know, but fuck
That's
that.
all, I've seen a few people say that's acceptable, but that's not acceptable.
It's not fucking acceptable.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's
I
awful,
watched. Talking of embarrassing, I fucking accidentally watched The Gloves Are Off with Brazil on it yesterday.
You didn't accidentally watch that. You searched it on YouTube.
Well, no, I didn't. I was watching something, but I left autoplay on YouTube, and that was the next fucking video, and I couldn't be asked to change it, so I just thought, fuck it. And
So
my god, right? Honestly, right? I don't think I hate a fighter any more than Brazil because he is such a dickhead. He's talking like mass amounts of bullshit, like as though people have not seen him fight.
Well, the people watching The Gloves Are Off haven't seen him fight.
Yeah, to be fair, he's probably been told to talk like that.
Like, it's mental. Like, fuck's sake, I know Joshua's not some fucking, like, great behemoth, but like, he's going on saying, no, you can't live what I'm doing. Like, you got beat off Fred Cassie, you fucking bum.
They're both
You're getting beat off a fucking... Oh, it's just like... I'm not going to watch the Murray and Gross one, although fucking... I have seen one section of it, and it's where Groves just shows he's a little fucking... He's a bully and don't like anything being returned. So he's slagging Martin Murray off, and then Murray goes, well, you weren't in a fit state to continue against Frosh in the first fight. And Groves literally looked like he was going to start crying.
I think he's quite insecure, Groves.
He's a fucking cunt, man. Yeah, he is. I don't know how anyone can like him. He's the least likable person.
He's quite witty, I think, Groves. He
does, but like, he's a horrible cunt. He's not a nice person at all. He's really not. And it like comes out more of it comes out of him every time he fucking speaks. He's just a fucking little rat.
Let's do these questions then.
Yeah, get on with the questions.
We won't go down the rant hole. Well, the first one we sort of answered it earlier. I'm going to do like the Asylum. I'll throw these to individual people. So, right, Brian, first one. How far do you think Lomachenko will go as a pro, and do you think anyone troubles him? I guess how far means maybe how high up in weight can he go, potentially?
I'm pretty sure, like somebody mentioned yesterday, that he's already talking about fucking, he's only going to like defend the belt once or twice and move up to 135 to win a fucking belt there. I think this is a guy that's just fucking all about the fucking glory, man. He's not interested in the money. This guy's made the money, so I think like his talent can get him through the fucking divisions to a certain point, because he's that good. The weight difference will no be as bad. There's no, obviously, the fucking Slido was a cheating bastard in that fight, but I think he'd be prepared for it and he'd maybe pick the opponents properly. But this guy could be an all-time great, regardless. He's fucking one of the best, if not the best. I mean, we've had like a couple of like amateur boxers on here, and every time they pick Lomachenko, Michael Conlon says he's the best fucking amateur he's ever seen, and it's high regards for me.
So the sky's the limit, you're saying?
I think this guy could fucking retire with like maybe like 20 fights or something like that, and he's like maybe a fucking 4-weight division champion, and not just like a kind of Brona fucking fake shite, but a proper fucking like unify some of the belts. But I said to somebody yesterday, I'm no one him to jump up to 135 until he fights another champion. That I don't like people just constantly going through divisions, and I know this will kind of shoot me in the face here because of Ricky Burns, right? But he tried to get the Vasquez fight right, but I would rather people fucking unified one division than go through fucking so many divisions without fighting other people. I would rather Lomachenko fought a couple of the fucking top guys, because then, in my eyes, see if there's no like fucking number one Ring magazine or like lineal. See if you're holding a unified champion. I see you as champ. Like take Gonzalez. Gonzalez is a lineal champ, right? But Estrada holds the two belts, right? But that's a bit different. But if there's no fucking lineal champ and Lomachenko holds the two belts, I see him as a man in the division. So I think talent-wise, he can fucking waste MD.
Alright, based on that, there's no lineal champ at 147, so if Brook holds two belts, do you see him as the man?
100%, he beats Vasquez and he's a man in that division. I forgot to say that the other day. I was having my fucking daydreams because there is no lineal champ, and Thurman didn't fucking beat MD to win that belt. I mean, do you know what? Guerrero fucking Thurman beat Guerrero to win a fucking belt, right? And then Garcia beats Guerrero to win a belt, and Guerrero's not even had a fucking win since about 2012.
But if Furman
you've gone off topic.
Get beat off
now, haven't you?
Yeah.
What's this got to do with the question?
It does, though. But at the minute,
Brook beat Vargas. Brook's the fucking man in that division, regardless.
There we go.
Lomachenko, who gives him trouble? Nobody at 135. I'd maybe say it's Barthélemy because he's fucking big, long in range of these. I'll be up to 140. I really want at Salido, because like we've seen him before, and I want to see the Walters fight, because Walters is a fucking freak of nature, and he's got longer arms than Floyd. The cunt's fucking like came to the featherweight. I don't know, man. That guy fucking Mr. Stretch, isn't he? So get him in with Walters so we can school him, and then we can fucking arise the fucking king. That's me.
All right. Good answer. Right, second question. Sorry, just let me load this up. We've got... I'll answer this one. I'll throw it to myself. Was Saturday the first definitive loss of Provodnikov's career? Brackets, no argument for a draw or a win in his favour. I say no, it wasn't, because I don't think there was any argument that he won the Matisse fight. I thought he clearly lost that. I think I had it 9-3 or something. But I do think there's an argument he beat Bradley, and I do think there's an argument he beat Algieri. So almost, but not quite.
Herrera. Even himself would dispute that. He said himself he's never disputed that.
Yeah, but it was a close fight, and it was a 10-rounder. I think it could quite easily have been a draw. Yeah, it was a close fight. Look, I wouldn't argue with Herrera winning it, but it was close. Okay, next one, Sam. I'll go to you. Here's a good one. Can you think of many fighters, past or present, who use angles or move as well as Lomachenko? Give me some examples.
Who move as well as Lomachenko?
And use angles as well as he does. I can only think of one off the top of my head, but I won't say it yet.
Not anyone I've seen. Not recently, anyway. And going back through the years, I don't watch that old grainy shit.
Do you think there are parallels to be drawn with Pacquiao in terms of sometimes throwing punches from weird angles and coming in from strange angles?
Yeah, but I feel like his punches are more proper.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, no, because Lomachenko is much more technically talented than Pacquiao is. Pacquiao's just a freak. Lomachenko, like with Pacquiao, I don't really think he knows what he's doing. He just does it. Whereas Lomachenko, it's all thought through. There's no like rushing or nothing. He knows what he's doing. Whereas Pacquiao, when he's doing them 6-7 punch combinations, I think he's just doing that instinctively. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Whereas you think Lomachenko is he's got it all planned. He's like a chess player, planning it all out.
He's thinking through it like 10 seconds before. He's got in his head what he's doing. Whereas Pacquiao will just do it.
There's one person right now that I think like similar to him, but I've already said I feel as if like he's a bit of a hybrid version of fucking Lomachenko and Golovkin, and it's Usyk. Usyk, like, see for a guy his size, his foot movement and the way he goes to the body, it's fucking unbelievable. And he's not got that one punch power like Kovalev's got, but he's got that fucking third and power like Golovkin's got, where he eventually wears a guy down. And I think Usyk, Bill, Joe, come on, fuck.
He's a lot. He works the body a lot more though. Usyk, that's why. But that, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I don't think it's anywhere as much though.
I just think that like Lomachenko's like just one of these kind of one-offs. I know that Jason says like Pernell Whitaker, but I don't think he's any. Like, Pernell Whitaker for me is the fucking. I love Floyd and everything, but fucking Pernell, like, his style, you're never ever going to be able to teach. I see the way he like kind of avoided punches. It was like a wee bit. See when you watch like the mad fucking videos of Muhammad Ali, where he would just stand and like kind of just move his back and just kind of move side to side and all without actually moving his feet. That's like what Pernell used to do, but Lomachenko's all about his feet movement, and his speed. So, no.
Okay, last question, Ainsley, for you. If Vlad beats Fury in the rematch, then what does that do to the heavyweight kind of standings? What kind of division are we looking at after that?
Fury retires.
You think so?
Straight away. Wilder probably fights Vlad.
Vlad and Joshua and Wilder would be breaking the
I was thinking more that it'd be Vlad. This is going to make me sound like a bit of a casual saying this, but I think Vlad would fight Wilder first because he probably thinks he could beat Wilder.
Yeah, and it's a big fight on
with
HBO.
more ease than he could beat Joshua. Not that I'm saying that Joshua's going to beat him, I'm just saying I think maybe he would weigh that up and think that Wilder's probably an easier fight for now. Because he's just wide open, so when Vlad throws straight shots, he'd fuck him.
I think
it'd probably I don't know. It's a strange one that, because then it's like, does Huey Fury crop up into the mix a bit more? Because obviously he's floating around the mandatory position, I think, is he not, for WBO? But obviously while Tyson's got it, I don't know what's going to happen. I think that Vlad's going to beat him, so we might get to see this happen anyway. But I think Fury will retire if he gets beat.
I think Vlad retires win or lose.
You could be right, but I just think because he was dead set on fucking getting that record of having the title for so long, and then that's obviously got took from him. So I think he'd want one last grab at getting them 2 belts, and I think he'd see Wilder as an easy pick off. And I don't think he'd be kept up at night at the thought of fighting Joshua or Parker, who both of them he's used as sparring partners for a fair bit in the past. But
I just think Fury's fucked him, mate. Fury's in his head and that he's ruined that.
Maybe, but
I mean, that face off. I says to he's like, Vlad was talking shite as if like he deliberately lost the fight and he started too late, which was the 12th round, and he was saying some fucking mad shit in that face off. I just think like sometimes you know how like Vernon Forrest had fucking Mosley's number and like Mayorga had Forrest's number. So there's just that one person that's just in your fucking head that you can't beat. Although fucking Oscar De La Hoya did beat Mosley twice and get robbed. Fuck you.
I don't know. I don't know. You can never tell with Fury what's an act and what's accurate, can you? So
I know.
I listened to him on Gareth Davies' his podcast on Talksport 2, and they had Fury on. He was on there for about 20 minutes, and now he's in camp. He actually sounds proper motivated, and that he's actually up for it. Not saying I fucking hate boxing, I'm going to retire.
But then like
this shit.
It's a big thing though, because like I know it gets said with a lot, but you don't know if he's trying as hard as he was before, or if he's got the same mentality as he had before. Because obviously he's won it now. It's a bit different, isn't it? It's a bit different when you're being chased instead of when you're chasing people. And obviously he wasn't expected to do fuck all before, and now everyone expects him to beat him. And like there's a lot of moving parts with it. It's not just as simple as, oh well, he's schooled in, I can't say he's going to turn it round.
As much as he comes across as a clown, he's not at all really. I don't think he'd go. I really don't think he'd go into a fight not wanting to win. He seems like quite a proud bloke in himself.
It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's. I don't know. It's hard to like put it into words, but it's not the fact of him going into the fight wanting to win. It's what's driving him to win. Is he going to be as driven as much as he was before? Probably not. Is that going to make any difference? Probably not again, but you don't know.
Bear in mind, before the first Vlad fight, he said he didn't give a fuck if he won or lost. If he won, happy days. If he lost, he'd retire. Like he said that all the time, innit? Like before the Joey Abel fights and stuff, when he turned up like 24 stone, he said, if I can't beat this guy without training, what's the point?
This is the thing about the whole situation, and we talked about this before, and it's fascinating in terms of like the psychology of the fight going into it, because the first one, you just got the impression that Vlad never expected Fury to win. He never expected Fury to really give him any problem, and he just thought this delusional gypsy idiot from England was going to come over and just make a fool of himself. And then he sort of quite quickly realised during the fight, actually, wait a minute, this guy genuinely believes he's going to beat me tonight. And he couldn't find a way of kind of, what's the word? He couldn't throw the punch which would have dissuaded Fury and made him kind of retreat into his shell a bit and maybe be a bit more defensive and not get the decision. He couldn't stop Fury from. I don't know how to phrase it. He couldn't
break his will at any point, could he?
Well, he couldn't even give him a thing to think about, make him think twice. You know what I mean?
Fury was having a laugh in that fight. Like he was having a laugh. It didn't even look like,
absolutely.
Didn't even look like he got out of second gear. He was pissed around.
But like, there's been a few people who said, and you can always read into this two ways. I'm sort of gonna take a bit from either side, but there's more than a few people saying that there were a lot of shit going off with Vlad's misses before it and all that, but then the camp apparently wasn't that great, and fucking loads of people saying Jonathan Banks is a fucking idiot. A lot of people have been saying that, and I stand by that because I don't understand what he does, because he was doing fuck all in between them rounds. If he got paid for that, it's fucking disgraceful. But I don't know. Big Bro's on board more this time. So.
But yeah, so my point was that Vlad he's got involved in a game of Russian roulette now with Fury, which he never should have. You know, Vlad was always a master of kind of being in control, wasn't he, in all his other fights? He was in control during negotiations, he was in control at the press conferences, and he was in control as soon as the bell went. Everything was kind of on his terms and in his zone, and now he's got this mad, 7-foot gypsy guy skipping around the ring, like rapping on the way to the ring, doing whatever he wants, and it's quite obvious that this guy is quite happy to play a game of Russian roulette, and if Fury gets it wrong, his career's over. But he's happy to risk it all, and Vlad is quite clearly uncomfortable putting himself in that kind of situation where he's got to sort of play a game of chicken with this guy. Do you know what I mean? And they're both sort of driving. It's like it's game theory. It's two guys driving as fast as they can in cars directly at each other. The first one to swerve out of the way loses. Fury is going to keep driving that car until he either blows up or crosses the line. Whereas Vlad is never kind of been a risk taker in that same sense, and I think he's really uncomfortable in the situation. And I agree with Sam. I think Fury's got in his head by sort of being willing to put so much to put so much on the line and to risk everything. And I think other Vlad opponents haven't been willing to do that.
I think Fury can do this to anyone as well. He's going to play.
Yeah, he'd do it to Joshua as well. He would.
He's going to play all these robots like puppets, these little cliche machines. He's just going to fuck with all their heads, because you never know what he's going to do or say, and it frustrates him. Joshua as well, just because he's the same, and he's just a cliche machine. Fury he'll ruin him. He'll bring something out in him that Joshua doesn't want people to see or know.
Yeah.
Man, this fucking conversation we've done to death, right? Just see before we fucking finish up, we need to kind of.
Says the man who spent like 20 minutes talking to some bloke in a chat about how much he wants to kill him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dab Dab.
Apparently, HBO giving Loma 2 more dates this year.
Right,
that's good.
That's probably because they heard me earlier on talking about.
I think the Salido fight might get made quite quickly.
It said Salido's top of the list. It says for next, but I've just remembered that I think Lomachenko's got a mandatory. It was that guy who fought that George Jupp and chinned him in like a round.
Here's one for
you. Into his belt. So Bechel.
Here's one for
you.
If Lomachenko was to beat Salido and Vargas by this time next year, where do you put him in a pound-for-pound list?
Top.
Obviously basing this off the fact that Kovalev or Ward would have beat one another, or
Yeah,
they would have
but that's
fought and
only
one of them
one
would
in
have
it.
won. So
I think you'd have the winner
fuck off, Belgium.
You'd have the winner of Kovalev Ward at number 1, I think. You'd have Gonzalez at number 2, unless he loses or something crazy happens. And then you have if Golovkin again, it kind of depends. But if Golovkin gets a big fight and smashes the guy, he'd be top 5. Lomachenko, I think he'd be top 5 if he did that. To be
Fuck
honest.
me, man. We keep getting into a fucking dark hole. I just want to talk about Warrington and Selby so I can fucking finish.
Yeah,
talk
jump
about
in
that.
on Warrington. Yeah.
Just basically, Warrington turned around and says that he couldn't take the Selby fight in the summer because he's getting married in August, and all of a sudden fucking Eddie Hearn turns around and announces a fight that he's fighting in the Leeds card. It's not even that's how Eddie Hearn says I'll never ever fucking announce a fight without an opponent, and that's exactly what he's fucking done with us as well. But apart from that, he's fighting in fucking July, he's getting married in August. Tony Bellew, it took 4 weeks to fucking sell that fight. He done what 17,000. You try to tell me that he couldn't have announced for this Selby Warrington? I mean, as far as it looks to me, is Hearn's fucking being a prick over this. I don't think this is maybe like Warrington. I think this is fucking Hearn. Hearn's just been coming to cunt now because like De Gale and Warrington, Selby have went to fucking Al Heyman, even though that Hearn loves money for some fucking reason. That it's all right if it's him that's getting all the money, but it's not right if his fighters are going to earn more money. But that's a fucking joke. Warrington's not getting away with this. But I'm blaming Hearn here, but Warrington employs fucking Hearn. He should be turning around saying, I want that fight. What champion is Warrington going to beat in that fucking division? Absolutely no one. Selby's maybe the fucking weakest champion in that division. So what is the fucking point? Lomachenko, if he drops his belt, Oscar Valdez is going to get that right. That's fucking absolutely embarrassing. I mean, Hearn has a hard-on for domestic fights. This is a domestic fight, and this isn't some magic fucking stadium fight here that's going to do 40,000-50,000 that Hearn fucking thinks this is. Selby already told me when I asked him, like in Vegas when I met him, do you take that fight? He's like, it's an easy fucking payday for me. This guy isn't any good. I was like, I'll absolutely fucking school him.
Yeah.
I spoke to people that are friendly with Warrington. He says that fucking Warrington wants this fight, not a problem, but it's his manager, and I can't even remember who his manager's name is.
Steve Ward.
Steve Wood doesn't want the fucking fight, and Hearn's not too keen. Hearn's not too keen on it either. But that's a fucking duck. He used his fucking girlfriend as an excuse to not take this fight, and there he's fucking just fighting on the fucking same time that he should have been fighting Warrington. Selby, fucking joke.
To be fair though, as Warrington ever said, he can't fight Selby because of his wedding, or has Hearn said that?
It was Warrington who said it. Warrington came out and said it, so this can't get passed on to anyone else.
Yeah, he backed up the statements and went like, yeah, I'm getting married, I'm not going to have a fight 2 weeks before, and then he signs for a fight 2.5 weeks before. Yeah.
Warrington's coming on apparently anyway, we're going to get him on the show.
Really?
No, I'm not going to fucking be two-faced or none about it. It's a duck.
No,
a duck's a duck's a fucking duck.
And also, he's got. I think Warrington's got previous for this as well. He ducked Walsh at British level. He ducked his mandatory at Euro level, and he's kind of. He's avoided a lot of people on his way up, and I think
he's won. All his belts not been vacant belts.
Yeah.
The club was vacated along the way.
Yeah, because I think I'm going to say somebody's going to move up soon. Are they going to wait for that to become vacant, or what? I don't know what bullshit they're going to try, but Russell Jr. is not going to move up, so that's not going to become available. Like Valdez has taken Loma's old belt. There's not fucking much room for manoeuvring, is there?
Anyway, Big Size, who knows him, friendly with him, he said there's more to this than what's being reported, and that's why he said, when I said something to him about Warrington, he said, Warrington, come on if you want. Like, really? And he went, yeah, I'll get him on for you, because there's stuff he needs to say.
Maybe it's always that though with everything, and I'm not saying that they might not be, but if you ask someone who knows the fighter when something's gone like this, it's always there's more than everybody knows. Well, fucking say it then. I'm not just. But then you can always make an excuse for something.
Oh, of course.
Either way, like, he could come and say whatever, but he's said that he's not took the fight because he's getting married. So I don't know. He'd have a defence as bad as Deakins if he changed his mind on it.
Whatever.
Can I just say, Brian, you touched on it a minute ago. Valdez Lomachenko, that's a good fight for the future.
Well, that's definitely not going to happen to Bob Bottom. I'm not going to make that fight.
That could be a massive fight in the future. I don't think there's no shame in Valdez losing to Lomachenko.
Or vice versa. You never know.
Well, yeah. But maybe
you never know. He's quite hard, Valdez.
It's a great fight. If Valdez keeps improving and makes a few defences of his belt.
Did fucking Lomachenko not fucking school him in the Olympics and all?
No, Lomachenko schooled Verdejo in the Olympics.
Aye, but I'm pretty sure I'm positive fucking Valdez get fucking beat off his some cunt and all.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that, but Valdez seems to be improving quite quickly. I think that could be.
He's a dark horse at featherweight, Valdez.
It's just I'm fucking sick of it. I'm sick of it, man. Like we see all these fucking casuals saying that's a great card, that least card. No, it's not. It's fucking trash. It's another fucking stay busy fights on there. Fucking bullshit. Warrington's not even getting an opponent, even though he's got a guy in his division that wants to fight him, and so apparently Warrington wants to fight him. I'm fucking sick of this. I'm sick of this. We're getting to be hearing all the time. He'll no make the fucking Flanagan fight, even though that whether Warren's fucking offers are bullshit or no. Call his bluff in and say, right, fucking you do that, you pay the money, you pay your boys money and we'll fucking make this fight. He just never ever wants to make in-house fights if he can fucking avoid it. See this, he'll make it, Rocky Fielding and Callum Smith are fucking forced into that because they get nothing but fucking bombarded with shit constantly on Twitter or and social media or whatever.
He also makes fucking those fights if one guy starts to look shit.
Yeah.
That's why he did it with Gavin. He signed Gavin. Gavin was fucking minging on Brooks' undercard, so he made that fight straight away before Gavin had a chance to lose. That's why.
Press picked him to win as well. Just reminding.
Yeah, by knockout.
By a late knockout, TKO.
Yeah.
He said, quote, the pressure will build up until Kell Brook either quits or his corner throwing the towel from a devastating offensive barrage from Frankie Gavin.
Incidentally, apparently there's some dog tags relating to that fight on eBay. I'm not sure what that's returning. Punches like a train.
Anyway, I'm trying to think if there's not really much to preview this week. I mean, Warren Payano is the only fight I'll be watching. I think that's quite a good fight. I think I'm going with Warren. I thought he was robbed.
But Warren beat him last time, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he should have won the first one.
I don't know if he was robbed. It was fucking close, but
yeah, but the cards were wide for Payano.
Oh,
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was weird. That I don't understand. Yeah. Because that was one of them fights where it doesn't make sense for it to happen.
No,
you know what I mean?
Also, I remember this. It was on midweek. It was on like a Thursday night or something.
Wasn't that the Selby card?
Sorry.
Was it not the Selby card, or was it not around that time when they just started doing?
But it wasn't on a Saturday or a Friday. It was on. It might have even been on a Sunday.
Selby was the Thursday.
Selby not a Tuesday.
Oh no,
Selby was midweek. Yeah, you're right. Selby was midweek.
No, because there's a few weird ones at that time, weren't there? Yeah.
But it was basically in Warren's hometown. I think he's from Florida or something like that. But it was basically in his hometown, and yet Payano got like shutout cards from the judges. It was really odd, and it was a very close fight. And I'm thinking Warren might have sort of figured him out a bit. Payano's quite a messy fighter. It's a shame. Hopefully the winner could fight McDonald, but I don't know if that'll happen.
No, well, there's a card on at Pavilion Chicago. It's Erickson Lubin v Daniel Sandoval. I know Alex fucking tried to take this shit, but I'm the one that fucking stuck my flag into Lubin fucking ages ago. He's no fucking take my thunder. Right, I know I done that with Amir the man, but fuck him. Hugo Centeno's fighting. Fuck him. I'm not even trying to pronounce his name. Payano's fighting Rashid Warren. Fonfara's fighting Joe Smith Jr. And Carlos Abrigu's fighting, but he looks as if he's in the B-side to this fight against some fucker called Alex Martin, so it's an alright card. It's not fucking worse than Giovanni Segura's fighting a TBA somewhere, but that's basically the fights at the weekend. But Hopefully fucking Rigo actually does get out here and gets a fucking work permit so Jazza Dickens gets his shit pushed in so people can actually
That's
see
a
fucking
fucking shit
Rigo.
fight, by the way.
Who's Rigo? Sorry, who's he fighting in Cardiff?
Jazza Dickens.
Oh, he is fighting Dickens now. Oh, right. Okay.
But I'd say that fucking fight is probably worse than any of Loma's fights. Jazza Dickens is not a good fighter.
Oh yeah, I mean, Dickens
He's
is
a nice guy and all this shit, but fucking hell, Josh Whale pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck me, man. Stop like.
If Rigo
that
goes the
is-
distance with him, that's a bad look.
Right, if Rigo goes the distance with him, it's over for him.
Yeah.
That's it. He's done. There's fucking no point bothering.
Yeah.
I'll give up then. I can't be arsed. And he's got to stop him fucking. It's not a late one either. He should be getting him done in 4 or 5 rounds.
Rigo's starting to. I've long been an advocate for him having him top 3 pound for pound, but he's starting. If he doesn't look good against Dickens, I'll have to start dropping him down the list because the Donaire win was quite a while ago now, and it's a shame.
But like, yeah.
Fuck this, man. We're not fucking finishing this like fucking every cunt raging, right? Any fucker that's listening to this, he's wanting to go on and leave a review, 5 stars, leave a shit review. I couldn't get a fuck, but just leave 5 stars, you fucking penis. Like the fucking videos and subscribe to the fucking channel because what is there? There's only like, fuck knows how many there's 400, 500. Fucking start like subscribing to the channel, you fucking pricks.
We want to get it above 1,000, please, so we can monetize it and actually make some.
And make some more money, and I can buy some fucking proper with it. But
last thing, also, if anyone has any, we mentioned Warrington earlier, but we're always sort of trying to get people on the pod, obviously within reason. We're not going to get Floyd on, for example, as much as hard as Brian might try. But if anyone has anyone they'd like us to talk to, or a particular person you think would be good on the pod, then let us know, and we can try and wave in front of them and get their attention. But yeah,
before some fucker
kind of
says fucking Ricky Burns, Vast fucking, he's blanked me. So
yeah, Burns will not come on. He never does radio, does he?
no,
I
it doesn't
never hear
fuck,
him on.
man. He'll never fucking come on here, man. He's too nice a guy. He fucking listen to my shit. Get big sexy on, but fucking bisexual cut. I'm not fucking getting cut on here.
We're getting Paddy McCall on.
Yeah, apparently Cash Alley wants to come on though. He said that Carp's a big fan.
Love Cash Alley.
Carby.
We were supposed to get that fucking
Ainsley,
daft.
can you round up all the Sheffield?
Yeah, it doesn't have to
get
work.
the fridge on, get Cash Alley on. We'll have a Sheffield heavyweight special.
Nah, a few of them want to kick my cunt in probably, so I'm not.
We'll get Klusky on as well in the future. I've got his number now. I wanted to play that, but I'm not going.
Klusky the chemist going to be talking about PEDs.
Going to be in there. Lots of lawsuits flying around. Anyway, cheers, guys. We'll see you all next week, I guess. Yeah.
Fuck the Queen of Northern Ireland.
Goodbye.
Ainsley's supposed to be retired.
Pubes.